AI, automation, post-capitalism. Few of these ideas were on anybody's mind in post-World War II Britain, which was racked with supply shortages, austerity measures, and a battered economy. While the nation was struggling to rebuild itself, a strangely prophetic little film called The Man in the White Suit hit theaters in 1951, addressing the issues facing late-stage capitalism in the 21st century. Alec Guinness plays Sidney Stratton, a brilliant chemist who can't hold a job. He's constantly fired over his outlandish ambition of creating an indestructible fabric that never gets dirty. Sidney's reduced to manual labor at a textile mill where he continues his research in secret. And then he makes a breakthrough. He develops an everlasting fabric that repels dirt. Excitement ensues over this revolutionary new product. That is, until everyone realizes what it actually means. Working class folks are the first to understand the implications of the new fabric.
That's lovely. 6 months' work and that'll be the lot. Every mill in the country will be laid off.
The wealthy industrialists eventually realize that it's a golden egg that will quickly kill the goose that laid it.
But it'll knock the bottom out of everything, right down to the primary producers.
What about the sheep farmers and the cotton growers?
The importers and the middlemen.
The big stores even.
It'll ruin all of them.
Wait. Let us stick to the point. What about us?
Sidney, fully dressed in his glowing prototype suit, becomes a walking target. His everlasting miracle fiber is a nightmarish version of the sort of technology that capitalism must always suppress in order to function. In the 1920s, light bulb manufacturers banded together and formed the Phoebus cartel, which reduced the life expectancy of light bulbs in order to increase production and profits. Around the same time, CEO of General Motors, Alfred P. Sloan, pushed for an annual redesign of cars in a process he called dynamic obsolescence. More commonly known as planned obsolescence, the tactic involves the reduction of the physical durability of a given product and also lies at the root of fashion, not just clothing, but the design and fluctuating desirability of all products, ensuring perpetual demand, constant consumption, and endless waste. Sidney's white suit demonstrates how capitalism's need for perpetual growth can actually come into conflict with the technological striving for improvement.
What do you think happened to all the other things? The razor blade that never gets blunt, and the car that runs on water with a pinch of something in it. No. They'll never let your stuff on the market in a million years.
It makes sense that a film like The Man in the White Suit should come out of Great Britain, which was at the forefront of the Industrial Revolution, fueled largely by its textile industry, centered in the north of England, where the film is set. This is where labor and labor-saving technology first came into conflict in the form of the Luddites, 19th century textile workers who organized against the factory owners and destroyed the new machines, threatening their livelihoods. Of course, they didn't win, and the term Luddite continues to this day to be something of an insult, despite the fact that the original Luddites simply wanted to protect their jobs back when there was no safety net for the unemployed. The Luddites are embedded in the collective memory of the trade unionists who opposed the new fiber. During the making of the film, the British textile industry was already in decline, due in part to a failure to adapt to new innovations, namely synthetic fibers, and was only kept afloat during the war by the manufacture of military uniforms. The industrialists find themselves in agreement with the workers.
Nobody wants to market it.
Quite right.
My dear friends, you must see that our bone of contention is non-existent. Capital and labor are hand in hand in this. Once again, as so often in the past, each needs the help of the other.
This is reminiscent of a scene from Fritz Lang's Metropolis. Capital and labor, working hand in hand. It's a corny sentiment that everyone has to play along with. Capitalism is a codependent relationship founded on the principle of self-interest. Far from being a hero, Sidney is also driven by his own myopic self-interest, except in his case, it isn't economically driven. He cannot be bribed with money or sex. He's obsessed with innovation, forever dissatisfied and perpetually fixated on making the next big breakthrough, no matter the cost to anyone else. The one moment in the film where he seems to realize that his work could have harmful side effects is when his landlady chastises him.
Why can't you scientists leave things alone? What about my bit of washing when there's no washing to do?
Unlike the capitalists, unlike the workers, she's not concerned with productivity. She's concerned with conservation. Although she's trying to make ends meet like everyone else, she's doing so through the care and maintenance of what we already have. The screenplay was written by cousins Roger McDougall and Alexander Mackendrick, who directed the film and went on to direct more cynical classics like The Lady Killers and The Sweet Smell of Success. But The Man in the White Suit is one for the ages, with super sharp dialogue and a fantastic cast led by Alec Guinness, whose strange and subtle performance points the way towards Peter Sellers' portrayal of Chance the Gardener in Being There.
I like to watch TV.
AI will replace 4.8 million American jobs.
It is the 6th cab driver suicide in recent months.
Is paradigm-shifting automation really inevitable?
As we anxiously stumble into the age of automation and AI, the issues raised by The Man in the White Suit will become more glaringly obvious, making this deceptively quaint little comedy from 1951 perhaps one of the most significant films of the 21st century.